Hi, this is Head Harvester Ed LaFlamme from the East Coast and beautiful Long Island Sound in Connecticut. It's just a gorgeous day. I want to talk to you today about meetings. You know why? Because managers I talk to that work for my clients, they say there's just too many meetings. They said they're too long, and they say that nothing gets resolved. All they do is talk. Doesn't seem like there's a reason for them. Just waste time. Well, let me give you some tips so that doesn't happen, okay? Especially you owners. Now listen up. Remember, the purpose of a meeting is to give updates and talk about new hires, maybe new clients you've just brought on, policies that might have changed, or events coming up, right? Now the purpose of meetings is to solve problems, and if you have issues, to resolve them, and of course, to make decisions. That's the main purpose of a meeting. Now let's talk about protocol in those meetings, because this is where they get into a lot of problems. The first thing, and the most important, is the mobile phone. These guys, you know, if you let everybody just answer the phone, you can't have a meeting. It's just too busy. I would really suggest you consider either shutting them off or at least put them on vibrate. But I'd love to have you shut them off. And maybe every 30 minutes or so, everybody can check, take a 2 or 3 minute break and check for calls. The other thing is, don't be late. You know, I hear so many complaints about people being late for meetings. You can't be late. You have to be on time. And on time for me is 5 minutes early. Okay, you should be in your seat and ready to go. The first thing you should do is prioritize the agenda. Now, you may have things to add to the agenda. That happens all the time. So let that happen naturally. And then prioritize the agenda, covering the most important points first. That way you're going to get them done. So as I already said, you want to start on time, but you also want to end on time. The other problem I see many companies have is they change the meeting times and they change the meeting days. Don't do that. Just stick with the time and stick with the day, and make sure it's convenient for everybody that's going to attend. You know, you don't want to, just because you're the owner, you don't want to come in like at 4:30 in the afternoon when people are getting ready to go home and call a meeting, especially if it's not expected, because everybody has plans. So stick with your meeting. I know I used to have my meeting at Thursday afternoon, 2:30. It was from 2:30 to 3:30, done, okay? And that was, everybody was there, they were ready to go, and that was our kind of like our habit. Okay, as far as when the meeting is in progress, somebody should be taking notes, and I don't mean write everything down that's going on. The action items, whatever is decided in the meeting is what you should write down. Then you'd want to put down under the action item, it's the what has to be done, who has to do it, when does it have to be done, and are there resources needed, you know, to accomplish it. Do they need equipment or maybe money or whatever? So that should be all covered. The other thing is, don't combine meetings together. Like you have a scheduling meeting with another meeting that would discuss something else, and they try to cram them all together. It's better to have separate meetings, take a break, okay, then re-adjourn with the people who belong in the meetings, because you don't want to have people in the meetings that don't belong there. That way it'll be a smooth running, nice, good meeting. The other thing is, don't go down rabbit trails. This is a big problem why meetings go over, because the subject comes up and everybody starts running with that, and it has nothing really to do with what you're talking about in the meetings. It's not even on the agenda. So think about that, okay? Somebody has to monitor that. Don't let those rabbit trails take over the meeting. The other thing is, owners, don't dominate the meeting, because I know you have a tendency to do that. One client told me, yep, it's just 1 hour or an hour and a half, and sometimes 2, with the owner talking and all of us listening. That's not a meeting. So try not to dominate the meeting, okay? And the other big problem that I hear all the time, the meeting stopped. We're too busy to have a meeting. That's not a good idea either, because when it's really busy, that's when you really need to have the meetings more, so you communicate what's going on. That's really key. Okay, there you have it. You've got some tips on having a better meeting. If you have problems like this in your company, why don't you put this on the agenda and talk about your meetings at the next meeting, okay? This is Head Harvester Ed LaFlamme from the East Coast saying I hope these ideas will help you harvest your potential.